What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob. Glendronach, 1994, 20-year-old single cask. This is cask number 1051 or 1051. Bottle number 239 of 591. All right. This is exclusively aged in a Oloroso Sherry Puncheon. Okay. So the Puncheons are the bigger casks. They can yield up to 591 bottles at cask strength. This is cask strength at 54.2%. So it's not a lightweight for sure. And the Puncheons hold a lot of whiskey, all right? So these sherry Puncheons, like most larger casks, won't have as much exposure to the whiskey, all right? So although this is 20 years old and it's a single cask, I find that some of the younger whiskeys that are aged in smaller casks tend to taste almost as old. I had the PX version. I reviewed that a while back. You can find that in my archives. I actually have a Glendronach playlist, which you guys can go check it out, just to fast track through some of my reviews to find the exact one. The PX one was excellent. It was superb. I have a full bottle of it. But I feel like PX is sometimes a little too sweet. Oloroso is a little bit more balanced, in my opinion. PX finishing works really nicely with some lesser sweet whiskeys, so some peated whiskeys maybe, or whiskeys that have been aged for a long period in ex-bourbon barrels or second filled ex-bourbon barrels. These Olorosos tend to be a little less sweet, like I said, and because of that, in a single cask, it doesn't have to be blended with other whiskeys to get that incredible balance. There is the exception to that. That Cavalon Sherry cask, single cask that I had, it was super thick, and if you don't like that kind of thing, you're not gonna like the single casks from Cavalon. Same idea is here with the older Glendronach single casks. They're very thick, and if you don't like a thick whiskey, then you're not gonna like especially the Oloroso ones. If you like a really sweet whiskey, you'll love the PX ones. Dark, like rum raisin. Lots of dark fruit here. Honestly, these are very smooth. You're not gonna add water to these to lower that alcohol bite. What you might wanna add water to these for is to thin it out a little bit. And I know that sounds crazy because we're always looking for a very viscous whiskey, a very like full-bodied whiskey, but sometimes these single casks can be a little too full-bodied. I really like this one though. I sound really negative with what I'm saying. I'm just trying to inform you guys that these things can happen. All right. Definitely dark fruit. You're getting a lot of chocolate there as well. Sweet. Some milk chocolate, some dark chocolate. Some like straight cocoa too. Okay, on the palate. Yeah, it does not need a drop of water It's thick. I mean, I've been through some of this, and I've given a lot of this away, either when people come over or through samples. But it's been good from day one. It got better as it went down the bottle. You're gonna find that with single cask whiskey all the time. But this is really, really nice. A lot of coffee notes, espresso. I love my espresso black, my coffee black. So this is like a treat because you get those sweet notes from the sherry aging, or the sherry casks, and then you get that coffee note in the background too. Almost like a mocha type note on the nose and on the palate. That's impossible to give a bad mark to. I love my sherry bomb. We all know this. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love sherry whiskey. It's excellent stuff. I do encourage you to open it, try a couple drams, put it away for a month. Put it away for maybe 2 months. It's not gonna go bad, I promise you. What's gonna happen is it's gonna get a chance to breathe a little bit. It's gonna use some of that oxygen. It's gonna oxidize. Sitting in one cask without the blending process that happens when you make your Allardyce or your mainstream whiskeys, they're taken from many casks. They have thousands of bottles of those expressions. These are only a few hundred from one cask. That translates to me as something that needs more time to breathe. It's not gonna get that vatting period that it would have if you're blending a whole bunch of other whiskeys into that. Even if they're all the same age and they're all a single malt, there's still blending that goes on, and that naturally will allow for some oxidizing. The single casks, they go from barrel, maybe they're vatted for a couple seconds just so that they can be bottled right away. I don't think they're sitting in a vat very long. I could be wrong, you guys can correct me if you know better, but it's going from one cask to bottle. So it doesn't have the chance to breathe at all. And you're doing yourself an injustice if you open one of these, especially if it's an older one, and you don't give it the time to sit, not just in the glass, but in the actual bottle, because it will get better, I promise you. That's an A+. It's amazing whiskey. I'm not gonna add water to this because I don't want to change the way it's tasting right now. If it's too powerful for you, I recommend that you add some water. But I wanna enjoy the rest of this dram, and I wanna enjoy it without any water added to it. It might open up the nose a little bit, but for me, if opening up the nose causes the palate to be diminished a little bit, I'm not gonna do it, all right? So that's just my personal opinion. Everybody drinks whiskey their own way. You drink it how you like it. I'm promising you that this is an awesome whiskey. For those of you who are Glendronach hardcores that need to know the exact cask number and batch, this is cask number 1051. I said that earlier. It is dated the 23rd of September 1994 and then bottled, that is, I think, June 2015, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, yeah. So 20 years old, one Oloroso cask. It's better than the PX in my opinion. They're both 20 years old. Yes, they're different casks. Yes, there can be a PX single cask that's better than this Oloroso cask. I'm not sure. The ones that I've tried, I like this Oloroso one better. It's excellent stuff. So that's an A+, probably a high A+. I haven't quite decided in my mind how high I want to go with that. For argument's sake, I would say it's at least a 93. Okay. Next up is going to be either the Glendronach 18-year-old Allardyce. I do plan on going live I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a head-to-head with the Towny Port and the Allardyce, or I'm gonna go live with the Grandeur. I would really like to open that Grandeur, but it was an expensive whiskey, so I was hoping to wait for a good occasion. I don't know if there's a better occasion than sharing it with you guys, so that's a very good possibility. Cheers, guys.